fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
As always, the Ramble is sponsored by COACH Sheffield. If you're a growing business and you want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. Thank you for joining the team for their continued support for the Ramble. Today's Ramble is sponsored by Well-Stoned Landscapes. From lawn to luxury, creating outdoor elegance. Well-Stoned Landscapes covers most areas of Yorkshire. If you mention the Ramble when asking for a quote, you'll receive 10% off any work. Call Paul or find him on Facebook in the details below. What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is the countdown to kickoff. Hands up if you're going to have indigestion on stream tonight. Me, woohoo! That definitely me, because I have had what's known, I think, by most people as a power nap that overstretched and ended up oversleeping, basically. So I was up very early this morning. Not very early, but early for me, to go on Radio Sheffield and speak to Ellie Colton on the breakfast show about that brilliant result last night. And it's knocked me all out of kilter. So I thought I've got a little bit of time. Once I pick the girls up from school, I've got a little bit of time because I've been working all day. Got a bit of time, though. We're good. We're all good. And then overslept. Didn't have time to do anything for tea. So I've had to nip out, run it and grab something for tea. Not very healthy. And then I've shoved it all down. I was chewing while the intro's going on, so apologies for that. We're all right. We're all good because I'm here. Not only am I here for half an hour now, doing the countdown to kickoff. At 7:30, we're going live on Behind the Ramble. Surely I've got it up. This is what happens when you pre-plan, you see. Look at this. We're live on Behind the Ramble at 7:30 with George Motson back again. Are we the hardest working channel on YouTube at the minute, do you think? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? We are here an awful lot, aren't we? So apologies for that, for those that don't like seeing us. But for those that don't mind us, we'll see you there. Because, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Seeing who potentially faces Sheffield United, or definitely faces Sheffield United or Bristol City. Look, let's be right. Blades are in box seat now, aren't we? It's ours to lose. And tonight we're going to be watching the team that will hopefully be playing Sheffield United come the 24th of May. So I want to get all your opinions on how you're feeling. How's it gone at work today for those of you that have gone into work? And, you know, that feeling, that winning feeling is incredible, isn't it? So, yeah, absolutely delighted. And, yeah, let's see how you're feeling about it. Just a couple of bit of housekeeping to catch up on. Jamie has done a ramble on the road that is out now. So if anybody wants to relive that day yesterday in a match day experience from the away end, Jamie Dumpling takes us to Bristol City, to Ashton Gate for that brilliant fixture. So you can soak up all the atmosphere in the crowd. He does the man who originated the Scran rating. So we've got the match day Scran rating from Jamie Dumpling. Absolutely brilliant. As I've said tonight, we are then over on Behind the Ramble at 7:30 tonight. So in the next 25 minutes, we'll be over there. At some stage, there may be a press conference. So we're prepared for it if that does happen. I appreciate these tight turnarounds. And with us playing on Monday, it's not very likely, or it's certainly not very obvious when it'll be if it is happening. But we are ready to go if there's a press conference. So if you're subscribed and you've got your notifications on, you won't miss it. And then we're going for an early 90 after 90. Obviously, Sheffield United play on Monday. We play the home leg, the second leg of the playoffs. So I'll be at that game. And then afterwards, we're not going live that night because obviously it takes me an hour to get back. So we will be live at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. 6 o'clock on Tuesday. That gives us an hour and a half before the second leg of Sunderland versus Coventry. It'll be then. So that's just giving you a little bit of an overview. And while we're looking at nice photos, this is another shot of another level again that I've just kept on because people are big fans of theirs, aren't they? So it was great to see, great to see them back together as well. So let's jump into some comments, see how you're all doing this fine evening. Stevie Holmes starts us off saying, just hope we carry on in the same vein on the front foot. An early goal for us and they will be demoralised. Steve, they're done. They're done. I don't like saying it, but I mean, they'll come at us, won't they? They've got to come at us, and they'll have 11 men now. No Rob Dickie. He'll be suspended. I don't think they've got long enough to appeal it. And even if they did appeal it, I don't think there's a strong enough case to get it overturned. It's a little bit like a VAR call where even if you deem it to be a 50-50, it's not enough to get something completely overturned. We've already had it clarified by not only our ref in the chat, Mark Hill's got a friend who's a referee as well. So, but people that know the game more than the majority of us have clarified that that was a red card. And even if a lot of these things are subjective when you talk about intent, but the referee has made the right call in the moment. So no Rob Dickie, their best defender, arguably. And I think it's going to be very tough for Bristol City. We just need to be professional and see it out, don't we? I'm sure we will. A lot of the talk has been, and I suppose this will lead on to part of our conversation this evening. I noticed while I've been asleep, Dave the Nose has sent me a nose picks, so we'll get that out as soon as we can. I'll turn that around after the watch along tonight. So I don't know Dave's team yet. I've not had a view from the mountain. It's very tight lines for him, to be fair, and there's a bit of work that Paul puts into those. So I weren't anticipating one for the second leg. So, but I don't know Paul's team either. So I've done my team, and in fact, we can get into that straight away and see what you think, because it was very originally in my head. I've got go as strong as you can, because there's 12 days to go before the final. So go as strong as you can. Even if people pick up the odd knock, it gives them enough time to recover. And then the more I think about it, I think, well, actually, there's no point risking Gus Hamer because we've got a 3-goal advantage. You can have him on bench as a saver option. But if Ben Brereton Diaz is fit, then he might be able to come in. And then Tyrese Campbell looked like he were a little bit, he might have been carrying a little bit of something or a bit tired, or no real point risking Tyrese. And by the time you go through a couple of names, you've rotated 3 or 4. And the beauty of it in this situation is, yes, we don't want to make too many changes, but something that a lot of people have alluded to, since January, we've got a lot of options. So this is my team that I think I would like to see against Bristol City at home. It's Michael Cooper in goal. You cannot take any chances with a goalkeeper. That's no offence to Adam Davis, who I thought did an okay job when he came in the other week. Michael Cooper's levels above. He's one of the best goalkeepers, if not the best goalkeeper in the division. Absolutely no reason not to go with your strongest man between the sticks. I want to see Alfie Gilchrist come back in and give Hamza Chowdhury a rest. I think Hamza Chowdhury will play in the final if we make it there, and I think that's fair. But I think he's solidified his place really now. And has he had much of a break? I'm not entirely sure. Rob Holding comes in for me, keeping him fresh. Anel also comes in. This is my favoured centre-back pairing, as you know. I'm not dropping Jack Robinson as a punishment. I have to point that out straight away, even though everybody knows my thoughts on the centre-back situation. I didn't think Jack Robinson did anything wrong yesterday. I could be very finicky if I wanted to and pick the odd thing out, but why would you when you've won 3-0 away from home? So I fully believe that he will start Jack Robinson if we get to the final. So I would like to see these two together, Anel and Rob Holding. Maybe bring off Anel for Robbo if they're going to be your centre-back pairing. They know each other well enough. They don't have to play together if they're going to be playing together in the final if we make it there. Harrison Burrows, I think, has got long enough to recover between games. And he's had the odd rest here and there coming into it. And I think it's a bit of a drop-off to Sam McCallum, if I'm honest. Whereas Alfie Gilchrist, I don't think is a huge drop-off from Hamza Chowdhury. I think there's a bigger gap between Sam McCallum and Harrison Burrows. I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder goes with McCallum here, because he has shown faith in the squad as opposed to sticking with a regimented 11. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Sam McCallum come in here, but I'm sticking with Harrison Burrows in my team. I'm going with the best two centre midfielders that we've got available at the moment. I did consider bringing Tom Davies in for Sidney Peck, but there are then a few too many changes, I think. If we keep sort of recycling people out, it ends up being very much a completely changed team. And with the amount of time that we've got between now and the final, I think that this is okay. I think this is okay to play these two. I wouldn't necessarily want to see him playing 90 minutes. One of them may do. If one of them plays 90 minutes, I'd prefer it to be Vinny Souza, who I think hasn't had as much football as City this season. But Tom Davies has shown that he can come on and do a more than admirable job in the centre. And you can always bring on Hamza Chowdhury for Souza and a like for like as well. So that's an option for you off the bench. Ben Brereton Diaz returns to the side. Now, this is a punt, really. It's just a case of, I don't think we need to risk Gus. He's the only one that I would consciously protect now that we've got 3 goals to the good. I'm not saying drop him completely. I think we keep him on the bench just as an option. But he is such a difference maker that I don't think we can risk. We did it, we did it against Stoke, didn't we? I know we played against Blackburn, but he didn't play the full game. No point risking him for me. I would be bringing Ben Brereton Diaz, who is a more than capable deputy on the left-hand side. I'm bringing BBD back in. Andre Brooks has more than earned his opportunity. Recently come on and got a couple of goals. And I thought he played very well when he came on. Him and Callum O'Hare, who was also in this lineup, I think have earned their starts here and earned the right to prove themselves and give them a bit of a creak in the door as to a starting spot at Wembley if that happens. If Andre Brooks gets another goal here or a really strong performance, or Callum O'Hare plays as well as he did in that 30-minute cameo last night, I think they're starting to make themselves undroppable. They're certainly putting their heads above the parapet and saying, I want this. So Callum O'Hare, he's got to be one of the first names on the team sheet for me. I understand it were a system thing last night. And don't get me wrong, no matter how well Callum O'Hare played yesterday, Chris Wilder ultimately got it right because Sheffield United ran out 3-0 winners. So we can question the manager all we like, but we've won 3-0 away from home in the playoffs. Absolutely incredible. Kiefer Moore will lead the line for me. I thought he did a very good job yesterday. I think Tyrese is due a rest. I did consider going with Tom Cannon. I just think he struggles on his own up top at the moment. And I don't think he's certainly not got the physical presence. But I would like somebody who's a little bit more, who brings the strengths that Kiefer does. I think he really suits a lone striker. I think he prefers to play in a 2. And I think he plays well in a 2. But we've also seen him play very well with Callum O'Hare in the side. And I think Kiefer Moore does a great job of holding the ball up. I think the game will be stretched because Bristol City will have to come at us. And that might give us a few chances to relieve the pressure by Kiefer Moore holding the ball higher up the pitch. So that's my team. And obviously, it's very subjective. People will go all sorts of different ways. And a lot of the concerns this season has been that we don't know our best team. Well, there are sometimes positives to that as well. Obviously, we would all prefer to know our best 11, for the manager to be comfortable on our best 11, for the players to know our best 11 in terms of creating those rhythms on the pitch. So what I'm saying here is a little bit of the devil's advocate in terms of I prefer us to have a settled 11. But the bonus to not having a settled 11 is the fact that you are confident in your squad men and you have maybe 14 or 15 players that are all worthy of starts, or you could certainly make a really strong argument that they're starters. So people like Ben Brereton Diaz coming into the 11 doesn't make us any weaker, really, does it? People like Callum O'Hare clearly doesn't make us any weaker, bringing them into the 11. So, yeah, absolutely buzzing with last night. Absolutely on cloud 9. Cannot say any other. Matthew says, great result last night. Kill the game off early on Monday. And then thoughts turn to what's next. Yeah, we a little bit like last night. We certainly didn't play for the draw, did we? We all thought that I was certainly posing the question, do you think we'd go and play for a point or play for the draw? I don't think United often do that. Then you see the lineup and you think maybe it's a little bit cagey. And it wasn't. It was the opposite. We went for it. I thought we were the better side, even 11v11. Although they did have the odd chance that it smacked the bar, didn't they? But I thought we were the better side, and I think we will have the same impetus on Monday, because there's always a danger. And look, you have to look at all sides of this. And this is not being, I don't want to sort of take any shine off what happened yesterday. But if we lose the second leg of the playoffs and still go through, it's not great going to Wembley on a loss. We still need to put in a great performance. There's been some noise around the crowd, and we'll talk about that as the show goes on. But I'm going to get through as many comments as I can. Great result last night. We've just read that, haven't we, Matt? Maury says, just woke up after a nap in time for this. Me too, pal. Can't wait for Monday. And apparently with Rob Dickey sent off, Bristol's fans are writing them off in the second leg. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. I loved it on Ramble on the Road, where Jamie Dickey's calling Rob Dickey one of our best players this season. Been sent off against us twice and handed us 3 points at Ashton Gate by getting sent off at 1-1 in 95th minute. And then obviously changed the whole trajectory of the game last night and has put the tie, not beyond them, but put them in a really sticky spot for the second leg, haven't they? Steve says, the cream always rises to the top. Don't want to get too far ahead, but the stars may just align this year. I hope you're right, Steve. I hope you're right, mate. And shout out to you and Kath as well, mate. Hope you're both doing really well. Maury says, plus also be interesting to see what Blades turn up on Monday. I hope we turn up with that we are not done yet. I think we will, mate. I think we will. Luke says, still nervous, Jim. Great away day for me and my brother, but nothing is finalised yet. P.S. Brewster and Robinson will give Wilder big selection issues, as they both had very good games. They both had very good games. Certainly Brewster had a very good game. Anthony Robinson had a good game. I can't ever go that far, can I? But I wouldn't be surprised to see either of them start. I wouldn't. And after that performance, how do we argue that? And also, it's a Wilder call that not a lot of us agreed with. He's got good selection headaches now, Luke. Good selection headaches. Rossi says, great result last night. Still buzzing. Bristol manager in half a morning old minute. Absolutely right. Matt says, Jimmy, what a day to be a Blade. I thought he let himself down a little bit last night, Liam Manning. And I like him as a manager, but I did think it seemed a bit like sour grapes, if I'm honest. What a day to be a Blade. Last night, so good. It's meant to be nervous. It's the playoffs. Yeah, I know, mate. And we will be nervous on Monday, believe it or not. We will. I'm really looking forward to it, though. I'm going to be there. We're going to be in Selena before kickoff, and then we'll be down at Triple Point as well. They are our pre-match bars. And thank you to them for supporting us. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for this. It's going to be a brilliant night on Monday. Great mind think alike, says Maury. Hardly slept last night. Emotions still high. Yeah, I was... I didn't finish stream till midnight, and then I were up a little bit later than that, and then I were editing, and then it were gone 3:30, I think, when I got to sleep, and then I were up early for Radio Sheffield. So yeah, we love it though, mate. We love it. Ash says, red card debate has been beyond dumb. It was a pen and a red all day, every time. Even sort of second tier saying it wasn't even a pen. Well, they have their opinions. I'm not saying second tier per se, but there's certain channels that are definitely throw stuff out there just for the reaction. I think clickbait, essentially. They're trying to get engagement, and I've seen that tweet from second tier, and I shake my head sometimes. James says, Jamie Dumpling has done a fantastic job filming yesterday. I thought so too, James. He's become a bit of a channel regular, and he's certainly found his niche, I think, with Ramble on the Road. We've also got other excellent contributors to Ramble on the Road. If you want to take part in that, that's a platinum feature. Maury does a lot of it for us. He'll be doing our game on Monday. If we make it to Wembley, there's a very special Ramble on the Road coming. Win, lose or draw, please come back for more, because we're going to get several different takes and blend it all together. Unbelievable. Excellent Ramble on the Road, Jamie, says Tom. I've had the day off. I literally had more or less the full kit on today. Great vlog, says Luke. Thank you, mate. That's all Jamie Dumpling, that. Anyone know coach ticket prices for Wembley? Would drive, but probably going to want to drink if we make it. We are in the process of sorting that out in the group. It's Paul Young from Wellstone Landscapes. there we go, who is sorting the coach out. It may well end up being 2 coaches at this rate. So as soon as we know, we'll get it in the Ramblers group and we'll get things confirmed. Maury says, I've literally worn my full kit today, more or less being a proud Blade. Nice, mate. Nice. Already at Wembley, me, says Jack. That is super positive. Seeing Jimmy comment on a Bristol vlog. Yeah, that was Jack Buchanan. I went over to his channel to support him. He came on here for the countdown to kick off before the last game. So I try and support people who support us as well and try and spread that positivity amongst the community. We're all different channels out we bought and different teams. But I think it's only right that you like other channels and comment on the streams and subscribe to them as well. Can you say hi to Dave the Blade? Certainly can. Do you mean Dave the Blade as in layman Dave, as in my brother? Or do you mean Dave the Nose? Because I can say hi to both of them if you want. Leviathan. We've only conceded 3 at home twice this season. Jack, come on, let's not. How did the radio go this morning, Jim Bob Rooney? It was good, mate. Thank you. It was very good. Good chat with Ellie. I was surprisingly upbeat for the time of the morning and the amount of sleep I'd had, but obviously that's what Sheffield United can do to you. Very rarely, but that's what it can do. After night last night, I rewatched the game. It was so good. I had to watch it twice. A cheeky goal. So good. It got to start in the final if we get there. Up the Blades. David says, evening, Jimmy and the Ramblers. Watched the highlights 3 times plus 90 after 90 twice. Hello again, Prince Abdullah. What a great surprise. It was a surprise to me as well, to be honest, pal. Come on, Blades. We've got this. Up all the Rambles. Up the Blades. Up the Morwood. We're all bigging ourselves up now in the comments. Fair dues. Bristol City confirming they have or will appeal the red card. Can't see it being overturned. Me neither, Scotty. Me neither, mate. It's a straight red, and if they do, it means the ref has had a mare, because that will be 3 reds in a row rescinded. They're just trying to look at there. I don't blame them. Like, what have they got to lose? Wonder if Robbo's saving his calamity for Wembley, says David. Don't. O'Hare must start, in my opinion, the 3rd name on the team sheet after Hamer and Cooper. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And holding back the years. Good evening, pal and fellow Ramblers. Can't believe the blinkers fans, City fans have on, and the manager didn't make himself look silly by saying it was a disc. Yeah, he did. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, mate. Maury says Rob Dickey is the heartbeat of that squad. And also talking to a few Bristol fans, they said it was the best in the side and one of the best sides to come to. Oh, we were the best side, one of the best to come to Ashton Gate. He thinks we'll win the playoffs. Big Tone, who went last night. Jimmy Laddam still buzzing. Monday can't come soon enough. Are we going to see you in Triple Point, pal? Making your Ramble debut. That'd be great to catch you, pal. Semi is done. Bristol are not coming back, says John. Need to stay focused and we'll be in the Prem. It's like, even if you consider this semi-final over, it's half the job done, isn't it? And I don't just mean half the job as in it's half time in this tie. If you consider the Bristol City game done, we've still got to beat Coventry or Sunderland on the huge stage. So, no Jackie Long throwing the team. Why? Resting him. Got to rest your best players, Neil. Got to rest them. That lineup is agreeable. We need to wrap Gus Hamer in cotton wool, fresh potentially for the playoff final. John says, I will play 2 up top all the way to Wembley. Cannon and more start on Monday. Interesting. Cooler King says, evening, Jim, you've changed your tune. I asked last night if there was now an opportunity to rest a couple for the final, and you were dead against it. Sort yourself out, man. I agree, Cooler King. And look, I can be flaky with these things. I still think we need to go strong. But the more I looked at, I wanted to rest Gus Hamer. That was the only one I wanted to rest. You bring in Ben Burton Diaz, and then you actually think, well, is Alfie Gilchrist a huge downgrade on Hamza Chowdhury to give him a rest? No, he's not. Does Andre Brooks weaken us instead of Ryan Brewster getting a bit of a rest? Not in his recent performances, he doesn't. Rob Holding certainly doesn't weaken us coming into the side. So yeah, you're right. I have sort of moved on that a little bit, but I think that's testament to how strong the squad is now. One thing I will say is, because I've only got 5 minutes left, and something I've said in our groups and something I wanted to say last night, and I think I said it at the top of the stream. As we grow as a community, there are more and more comments coming in, and I am so grateful for it. And I don't want anybody to stop commenting. What I don't want people to do is, if I miss your comment, firstly, it's never intentional. I'm not just picking my favourites or anything like that. I want everybody to have a chance to have at least one comment read out. but I do skip over some things. I'd ask the mods to help me out in terms of highlighting people who haven't had a comment read, but it's a hard thing to do when we've got so many coming in. So just please don't be offended if I miss out your comment, because now we've got nearly 4 minutes left, because I've got to go over and do the Rivals watch along, and there's people whose comments I haven't read out. So I'm going to try my best to get those done who haven't had the chance to have the comment read, because it's important to me on the channel, but it's certainly not a personal thing, and I do apologize if people feel like they haven't had the comment read and they wanted to get it in. It's already over. Sad for the neutral, great for you, says Paul. Oh, I do feel sorry for those neutrals, including you, who's already gone up. I think you're a Leeds boy, aren't you, Paul? So you won't get any tears from me. Chris says, would not play Gilchrist. I think Chowdhury is better and more experienced. Fair. The rest of your team I agree with. Tom Davis did really well when he came on, and I thought he could start and give Siddy a rest. Again, that's similar to my thought process, I suppose, Chris, in terms of you can make arguments, and there are only small margins out there. Welsh Leeds follower says, good luck. I'm sure you will join us in the Prem. Hope you're right, pal. Blades Boxing says, I think dropping Hamer sends the wrong message to Bristol City. I think if you've got him on bench, you can always... It's always there. It shows the same respect, but it's obviously long-term thinking, but it's different. It's different ways of looking at it. Evening, pal. Hope you're well. I know you missed my comments last night, but what a 90 after 90, and what a win. Got to take the confidence and momentum into the second leg and finish the job off. That O'Hare goal. Liam, how good was it, pal? How good was it, mate? Paul says, are you watching COV v Sunderland, Jimmy? I certainly am, mate. Certainly am. We're going over in 2 minutes to Behind the Ramble to watch that. Jack says, looking forward to Monday. We have to treat it like a 0-0. I'm sure Burrows said this in his post-match. He did. No reason why we can't put on a top performance and win again. Absolutely right. Uruguay White says, in the voice of Sean Bean, come on, Blades. Do it for Yorkshire. Helmy hangs on Man Mountain's every word. Air O'Hare. Absolutely right, he does. Absolutely right. We've seen it, Ian. We've seen it. Good evening, Mr. Atuki. Good evening. Any big channel or site saying it wasn't a red or just engagement farming? I think so. Prince Ramble on the road incoming. I'm not sure I'll be getting Prince Abdullah to record a ramble on the road, Westwood, but you know, maybe that's the dream, isn't it? Brand says, evening, Jim. Outstanding performance yesterday. Burrows said to Sky they're treating the second leg as if it's 0-0 on aggregate. Said the same. Crimbo, since Crimbo, it's playoffs for us. Never said we're not going up though. Brand, you're right, mate. You drew that in the sand. I remember you saying it. So, say hi to David, I meant. Okay. I will. I certainly will. Magic says, would you rather Cov or Sunderland? Ask me again after the game tonight. We'll see. If we see Robbo Shocker at Wembley, it could be the end of Jimmy and the channel. It could, mate. It could. Tom says, can't believe the amount of people writing off Sunderland. I think they'll win both legs. Are people writing off Sunderland? Ian says, hoping for a Cov win tonight. Think Wilder has Frank's number. When Saturdays come, says Chris Wilder will not for 1 second allow any complacency. We'll be at Wembley, fully confident, up the Blades. That's dry, Bri. Thank you, mate. Finally, in the Plat group, thank you, Jack. Very much appreciated for your support, pal. Absolutely love that from you. Kieran says, well, I was wrong about yesterday. You're walking it. Get that bus booked. Get Connor on it. No, thank you. You even missed mine, Jimmy, and I'm a regular. Honestly, mate, there were so many. There were nearly 2,000 people in at one stage. And if everybody comments like 3 or 4 times, I'm never going to get everybody's commenting, am I? So apologies, but I will do my best. James says, loved seeing the Prince on last night. Really shows he's one of us. He is. He is. And I know people have their opinions. And if you're an owner, you're always going to divide opinions. You can never do right for doing wrong. And also, you know, it works both ways, that some people give you too much appreciation, but he's a huge Sheffield United fan now. What's up, Jim Bob? Who have you got in the League One playoffs? I don't know. We thought about doing the watch along for the final, but all eyes are on the Championship at the minute, pal. You'll be here all night replying to every comment. I know, Maury. We're going to have to think of a way to do this, because I always want people to get recognition and feel like they're a part of the stream. But it's just becoming very difficult to keep up with, if I'm honest. Neil says, evening, Jimmy. It's only half time. Big performance on Monday to draw the line in the sand. We know they will hit us for the first 15 minutes. They certainly will. They certainly will, no doubt about it. I'm going to call it there because we're jumping straight over to Behind the Ramble, and we're now going to jump straight into Coventry versus Sunderland to find out who has the right to play Sheffield United or Bristol City in the final at Wembley on the 24th of May. So come and join us over there. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blades!